When many overseas buyers start planning for a second home, overseas lifestyle or asset planning, one question often comes up. The UAE has no personal income tax. Does that mean it is automatically better than Malaysia? It sounds like a simple question, but the answer is not that simple. Because whether a country has tax or no tax does not automatically mean it is the best fit for you. And just because a country has tax, it does not mean it is not worth considering. This world-class address today. In today's videos, I'm not here to say Malaysia is better or UAE is better. Both countries are good, but they are suitable for very different people, different lifestyle, different business structure, and different level of risk. So today, let's talk about this. What does this really mean to choose a tax country versus a tax-free country? And if you save on tax, will you pay the cost somewhere else? Before we begin, this video is not tax advice, legal advice, or financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. Which country are you a tax resident of? Where is your income coming from? And you are earning as an individual through a company, from rental, investment, salary, or business profit. All these factors can change the answer. So today, I will explain this in a simple and practical way, especially for overseas family, business owners, property buyers, and people who are planning a second home. If you are making a real tax or residency decision, please speak to a qualified tax advisor, lawyer, or accountant. First, let's be fair. Why is the UAE attractive? The first reason is very clear. The UAE generally does not impose personal income tax. That is one of the biggest reasons why many high-income individuals, entrepreneurs, and international business owners are attracted to the UAE. Second, the UAE corporate tax rate is also relatively competitive. In general, UAE corporate tax is 0% on taxable income up to dirhams 375,000 and 9% on taxable income above dirham 375,000. So for people with international income, online business, consulting income, trading agency business, or clients from different countries, the UAE can be very attractive. The UAE is not attractive only because of tax, it also has an international business environment, strong global connectivity, financial infrastructure, and a very business-friendly image. So we should not deny the strengths of the UAE. For the right person, the UAE can be a very powerful option. But here is the important part. Many people hear the words no personal income tax and immediately think, then of course the UAE is better. But I want to ask one question. Tax-free does not mean cost-free. Some costs are not just called tax. For example, you may need to consider living costs, rental costs, school fee, medical insurance, company setup costs, accounting and audit costs, bank compliances, visa renewal, office requirements, and the cost of maintaining a real business presence. The real question is not only does this country have tax, the real question is the tax you save bigger than the extra cost you need to maintain the lifestyle and structure? Many people only look at the headline. UAE has no personal income tax. But when you really move into the planning stage, you need to ask, will I actually live here? Can my family adapt? Can I afford the education and medical costs? Is my company truly operating there? Do my contracts, client, bank flow, and management decisions support this structure? If the structure only looks good on the paper, but your real-life income sources and business decisions are somewhere else, then the planning may become risky. This is a point many people overlook. Registering an overseas company does not automatically remove your tax responsibility. And getting an overseas residency visa does not automatically mean you are no longer a tax resident of your original country. The real question is, where are you actually a tax resident? For example, in Malaysia, if an individual stays in Malaysia for 180 days or more in a year, they are generally considered a Malaysia tax resident. If someone stays less than 182 days, they may be treated as a non-resident and different tax rules may apply. The UAE also has its own tax residency rules. For example, physical presence, number of days, permanent home, financial interest, and personal ties may all be considered. So again, the question is not only which country has lower tax. The better question is, can you legally, practically, and consistently become a tax resident of the country? If your family is in one country, your company management is also in one country, so do your client, your income sources, but you only register a company somewhere else, that does not automatically remove the tax risk. For cross-border planning, this is extremely important. Let's talk about Malaysia. Malaysia is not a tax-free country. Malaysia has personal income tax, a corporate tax. For individual tax residents, Malaysia uses a progressive tax system. That means the higher your chargeable income, the higher the tax rate. For companies, Malaysia's standard corporate tax rate is generally 24%. For qualifying SMEs, the first Malaysia ringgit 150,000 of chargeable income may be taxed at 50%. The next portion up to 600,000 Malaysia ringgit may be taxed at 70%, and the balance at 24%. So if we only compare tax rate, Malaysia is not the lowest tax country. But Malaysia's strength is not about being the lowest tax country. Malaysia's strength is about lifestyle, Malaysia lending, education, healthcare, daily living costs, and property accessibility. For many international families, Malaysia is easier to adapt. The culture feels familiar, the food is familiar, the language environment is more comfortable, the lifestyle is more relaxed. The cost of living can be more manageable compared to many international cities. So, Malaysia is not mainly a tax efficiency choice. Malaysia is more of a family lending choice, second home choice, education planning, retirement lifestyle, property and living strategy choice. This is a vary from the UAE's positioning. To explain it simple, the UAE is more suitable for international business-oriented people. Malaysia is more suitable for family lifestyle-oriented people. Of course, this is not absolute. Many families live very well in UAE and many business owners do very well in Malaysia. But from a planning perspective, the UAE is often more attractive to people who focus on high income, global clients, international business, tax efficiency, capital movement, global connectivity. Malaysia is often more attractive to people who focus on family lifestyle, children education, long-term living, healthcare, retirement, property ownership, second home planning. So don't only ask which country has lower tax, ask which system fits my current life stage better. If you are earning high income, serving global clients, running international business, and you generally live and operate in the UAE, then the UAE may take a lot of census. But if your priority is family, children, education, healthcare, retirement, and a more grounded second home lifestyle, then Malaysia may be easier to land in. Let's summarize the risk. The risk of the tax-free country is not that the country is bad. The risk is that you need to carry a different set of costs and requirements. From a UAE, you may need to consider living costs, education costs, medical insurance, company and visa maintenance, banking and compliances requirements, real residence requirement, real business substance, your original country tax residency status, and possible future policy change. The UAE now has a corporate tax system even though the rate is still relatively low compared to many countries. This tells us one important thing: no country tax system is completely fixed forever. Malaysia risks are different. For Malaysia, you need to consider it is not a tax-free. Higher income individuals need proper tax planning. Companies need compliances. Rental income and business income need to be handled properly. Policy and visa rules may change. If you are connect property purchase with residency planning, you cannot simply buy any project without strategy. And property investment must be based on real demand, rental market, resale potential, maintenance costs, and the location quality. In a simple words, the risk of the tax country is that you need to accept the tax cost. The risk of the tax-free country is that you need to prove your structure, lifestyle, and income logic are real. If you ask me, Queenie, which one is better, Malaysia or UAE? My answer is don't ask which one is better. Which one fits my current life stage better? If you're a high-income individual, your income is global, your business is international, and you're willing to generally live and build business substance in the UAE, then the UAE can be a very strong choice. But if you're focused in family, children, education, retirement, property planning, and a place that feels easier to live for long term, then Malaysia may be more practical. UAE represents tax efficiency and international business logic. Malaysia represents lifestyle lending and long-term family planning. They are not the same lifestyle. For today's videos, I want to leave the question to you. If you are planning overseas living, asset plannings, or a second home, would you care more about low tax? Or would you care more about whether a place is truly suitable for long-term living? Will you choose a place with stronger tax efficiency and international business advantage? Or will you choose a place with more manageable living costs and a stronger family lifestyle? For the family, what matters more? Tax-free or being able to truly live there long-term? Let me know in the comments. Maybe the answer is not simply Malaysia or UAE. Maybe the real answer depends on which life stage you are in right now. I'm Queenie from Homey Malaysia. If you're interested in Malaysia second home planning, overseas property and long-term family planning, remember to like, share and subscribe Homey Malaysia. See you in Malaysia. See you in the next video.